What's going on, everyone? This is Mike with Film Facet, and I just had to comment on this article. um, because Channing Tatum is lying. Theaters show lots of great movies. That's the lie. You're just not going to see them. Now, that's true, because people have moved on from Hollywood and their unoriginality that they've been throwing in our face for 30 years. Well, guess what, guys? Your business model is blowing up on you now. And it's great to see. Finally, thank God, I've been wishing for this since the mid-90s. Since Hollywood decided, you know what? Let's stop making original stuff and just regurgitate the bullshit that we've already done. When they started making movie versions of the Beverly Hillbillies or the Little Rascals, that's when I saw it. That was the mid-90s. I've been waiting for them to implode on themselves for 30 years. And it's starting to take hold because people ain't going to the movies anymore, guys. You want to know why? Because by and large, the product is garbage. That's it. One of the worst videos that I make on this channel are the negative ones. I don't like to make them. I like to celebrate movies because I love them. Well, I love older films now. Movies that have plots and points to them and messages to send. And really, there's no message they're sending anymore other than, well, here's this piece of shit. Here, go watch this. And by and large, Americans have bought out. Okay? They have bought out of going to movies. Because number one, you've priced them out for most average people to go. I went and saw Superman this past summer, me and my wife. And it was $60 for the two of us. That includes 2 tickets plus 2 drinks and a popcorn. That's it. $60. And the movie was fine, but the experience wasn't. And that's kind of what you get now. You don't get a real good theater going experience anymore. You just don't. And what you pay, you're not getting your money's worth. Okay, you're being ripped off. So a lot of people have opted out to just sit at home for a couple months and then boom, there's the movie in my home. I can wait 60 days. 60 days, I'll save $60. And then it'll come on a streaming service I already subscribe to, and I'll just watch it at home. Like I watched over the break, I watched one battle after another. Sitting or laying in bed one morning. That's what I'm talking about. But Gen Z doesn't really care for movies all that much. And it shows. They're the ones that should be going to the theater and aren't. Okay, they have other interests. They're influencers, they're YouTubers, they're, gamers. They have other creative outlets now. Back when we were kids, really, we just had movies. That's really all we had. And a little TV. Back then, you only had 3 or 4 channels to choose from. So I saw this article, and I get that they're just trying to generate business for their movie, which flopped. It's a film called Roofman, and it came out back in October, and it only made $34 million worldwide. That's its take, which against a $19 million budget, which is pretty cheap in today's Hollywood. $19 million. Wow. Nice job. Too bad you only doubled your money, which you probably didn't get a profit. So, excuse me, getting over a cold. So, so basically what I'm saying is he's stretching the truth here that there's lots of movies being shown in theaters now. There's not. You know, if you get a good movie playing in a theater at any given time now, consider yourself lucky, because by and large, it's garbage. You know, they don't make original films much anymore, and when they do, they don't generate any business because they don't know how to market them anymore. The people, whoever's in charge of these studios are idiots. I don't know how they got in charge of these studios, but they don't know what the hell they're doing. And they haven't known for 15 years. Look at Disney. Look how many times Disney has fumbled the Star Wars ball. Star Wars ain't that hard. It's not. It's good versus evil. Not that hard to do. But they can't seem to do it on a consistent basis unless Tony Gilroy is in charge of it. And he already said he's done with Star Wars. He doesn't want to do anymore. So, unfortunately, you got the dude that was in Rudy in charge of Star Wars, and you have a cowboy hat guy in charge of Star Wars, and they both are not good writers. Both of them don't write well. And their directing is a little suspect. So that's who's in charge of Star Wars. Dumb and Dumber. That's what I'm saying. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, you know. If Lucas was still in charge of Lucasfilm, Disney Star Wars would look a lot different. And probably a lot better. Anyway, sorry to get off on a Star Wars rant, but I love Star Wars, and I don't particularly care for what Disney's done with it. So, but that's just a microcosm of Hollywood. That's them in a nutshell. They don't seem to know how to do anything good anymore. Unless you have somebody like Spielberg making a film. He knows what he's doing. And if the studio execs knew what was good, they just leave him alone. But they probably won't. So I hope his new film isn't meddled with by the people who don't know what the fuck a movie is. So in closing, I will say that I am very happy that the public is now turning against Hollywood. And they're hitting them where it hurts. At the box office. And this is something I've been wanting to happen for a long, long time. You know? This needs to happen. Their business model has been wrecked for almost 3 decades now. Now, it started slow. Okay, in the 90s, you still had good movies. But you saw this trend of regurgitating old content. And now the regurgitation is about 80%. And you get 20% of original content, which not really original. It's probably based off a book, or it's based off of a magazine article, or it's based off of a graphic novel or a comic book or something. Because something that was an original script doesn't get produced in Hollywood anymore, man. They're not interested in that. They want a built-in audience already. So from the very start, they're being lazy. Okay? There's no world building here. No original world building. So that is unfortunately something that needs to happen so they can tear it down and build it back up. But the problem with that is they'll probably will build it incorrectly, because that's also something that Hollywood does. So we'll just wait and see. Bottom line is, I'm happy that people aren't going to the theater as much as they used to, and I hope that trend continues, so we can have a reckoning in Hollywood that is good for, good for the audience. Because right now, it ain't, man. So that's my video. And I hope you enjoyed it. And just stay at home. You don't need to go to the theater.